Hey, detoxers. Today is the day after Donald Trump's joint speech to Congress, which was historic. If it was a State of the Union, which it technically is not, it would have been the longest in history, as Donald Trump surpassed former President Bill Clinton, speaking for over an hour and 40 minutes to a joint session of Congress. Members of the Supreme Court were there, guests were there, such as Elon Musk and others. And a lot of liberals and critics of Trump tuned in to see how, if at all, the Democrats would respond. Before the speech even started, there were these exciting stories about how the Democrats were going to wear matching pink outfits. And then when they got there, they weren't all wearing the same outfit. And then they were going to have signs, because you don't want to yell out and interrupt the president.
The reforms I'm proposing would not apply to those who are here illegally.
Well, except for like that guy did. But besides that, you don't want to yell out and interrupt the president. And so you have these little signs. And the signs communicate the unified message of the Democratic Party. Actually, it looks like really what they communicate is a couple of different ideas that sort of go together, but it's kind of a word salad. It says like lie and false and Musk steals. It's not clear which sign they're holding up for which comment from Trump. Plus, they all have different signs. They really don't have a unified message. It was pretty bad. It was bad. But don't worry. There was also folks who were willing to stand up, be brave, speak truth to power, such as Representative Al Green. Green said he was particularly upset by Donald Trump's claim that he had a mandate. Representative Al Green said, "No, you do not have a mandate to cut Medicaid." And like that, a bunch of liberals stood up and they tuned into their screen. They thought, finally, the Democrats have an opposition. They're going to stand up. They're going to insult him, interrupt him. And we've seen what happens to Donald Trump when he gets insulted. He becomes like a petulant child, right? This is how Kamala Harris handled him to almost an embarrassing level during the debate.
You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom. And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you.
People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there and then showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics. That's because people want to take their country back.
Trump, it was one of his worst performances, is when Harris really kept hitting him and pointing out just how petty he is and how much of a liar he is. And that must be what Democrats are doing. That's why Representative Al Green, in defiance of Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, continued to berate Donald Trump to the point where Mike Johnson had to have Representative Al Green removed by the Sergeant at Arms.
Of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber. Go.
Liberals continue to tune in. They thought, okay, Al Green's going to be gone. The next thing you know, one Democrat after another is going to stand up and speak truth to Donald Trump. Yeah, that didn't happen. Instead, they sat there in mismatching outfits with a disconnected message on signs. But the night wasn't over. Senator Elisa Slotkin spoke as a rebuttal to Donald Trump as a member of the Democrats. She came on screen speaking just like anyone from the HR department would. I have a personal beef with HR departments. They tend to remove the human from human resources. So it wasn't the most powerful speech, but Elisa Slotkin, it's an unenviable position. Nobody has done well at this. You certainly did better than the Republican who previously responded to Biden from a kitchen table where she talked about how much her family loved her, even though her family was not there at the table with her. Bernie Sanders, though, he did speak up. He gave a 20-some-odd minute speech.
You say something that is grossly false, say it over and over again, and have right-wing social media blast it out endless times until people actually believe it.
He told his audience, this is not a time to be cynical. This is a time to engage in action. Overall, the Democrats seem to illustrate last night they have no strategy to resist Trump. They're trying a bunch of things that have worked previously, matching outfits like they did during the first Trump term, maybe holding up signs, hoping to catch some message that goes viral, standing up and protesting, not realizing that when you stand up and protest, protests that are successful are usually a collective effort. They're well planned. They seem to be sporadic, but that's not true. Activists are very talented, very smart, and organized. That's not what happened here. The rebuttal speech, it didn't really electrify anyone. It wasn't like that speech that John Kerry gave.
Don't tase me, bro.
But Bernie Sanders is out there. He's on an oligarchy tour. He's drawing huge crowds, the same way that a lot of town halls are drawing anger from people at representatives, so much so the Republicans have canceled their town halls. Bernie Sanders is out there trying to draw these large crowds, to get people excited about taking on the Trump agenda. And he seems here in this speech to have a message. His rebuttal seemed to actually have some plans on what people could do and how to take action, which means he's very far ahead of where the Democratic Party is right now. I bet he's pretty happy that he's not actually a Democrat.
Hey Detoxers! We hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out more, you can find full episodes and other clips on YouTube, as well as on all the major podcast platforms, and of course, by subscribing on Substack at nolanhigdon.substack.com. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. It really helps us out, and it keeps those tech overlords happy. See you next time. Detox complete.